Hey guys, so in this video, I want to talk to you about a book that has the potential to literally change your life. Let's go. Hey everyone, my name is Seth Yolorda, and I want to thank you for joining us today. So I've recently been reading this book called The Big Leap by Gay Hendricks, and a friend recommended it to me. And as you can see from the cover, you can see like there is this small fish bowl and a big fish bowl, and there's a goldfish making the leap from the small fish bowl to the big fish bowl. And when I saw this cover, I was like, oh man, this is the book for me because I'm trying to make that leap. I'm trying to make that leap professionally in my business with vision clarity. I'm trying to make that leap with my marriage. I said, yes, finally a book that will give me the tips and the tools and the strategies on how to actually make the leap from a single person enterprise to a conglomerate. And as I started reading and diving into this book was like everything I was not expecting this book to be. It has nothing to do with strategy. It has nothing to do with from business plans. It has nothing to do with scaling your business. It has everything to do with scaling your mind. Man, I want you to get this. It has everything to do with scaling your mind. And so as I was reading it, actually listening to it, because I do the audiobook version. So as I was listening to it, my mind was literally blown away, because what he was essentially trying to communicate to us is that we all have what we call, or what he calls, an upper limit problem. And this upper limit problem is essentially a mental lid that you and I have placed on our own potential, that whenever we cross over that lid or try to break through that lid, there is a response, either physically, emotionally, where we begin to sabotage our potential to bring us down below the lid. The way that I like to describe it is that each one of us, that there is a fence around our life. And that fence indicates the boundaries of your potential. However, that fence was placed there by your parents, by your friends, by yourself. It was reinforced by your own beliefs. And so as a result of this fence, what this fence does is it makes us feel comfortable that as long as we are inside this fence, then we're good. Right? We can do whatever we want to do as long as we're inside the fence. But the moment we step outside of the fence, we now feel like, okay, I'm outside of my comfort zone. And so we do everything that we can, even sabotaging our own success, to make sure that we stay within the fence. Now, this is really like revolutionary, because what he was describing is that it's not so much, let me say it like this, that if you got a new job, if you started making six figures, if you started killing the game in your personal life, in your professional life, and yet your fence was not any bigger than what it originally was, you will actually do everything to sabotage all of your new success to bring you back within the limits of your fence. And so this book is about how can you begin to stretch and to enlarge the fence around your potential. How can you begin to push your potential out so that you no longer feel confined by this upper limit? Let me give you a perfect example. So if you came over to my house and we said, hey, let's go to the golf course, and we went to the local General Oats golf course here in Riverside, California, I would feel very comfortable playing you in a round of golf, 9 holes, 18 holes, and I would probably beat you. Maybe not. But I would feel very comfortable because playing General Oats golf course down the street from my house is within my fence. It's within my potential. But if you place me on Torrey Pines and you pair me with Tiger Woods, you pair me with Rory McIlroy, and then you put cameras, and then you line the field with spectators and fans, right? And that means when I tee it off from the driver, I have to hit it straight, because if I hook it, I'm gonna take somebody out. Like, if you put me in that environment, that is way beyond what I feel my potential is. And so my nerves would be going crazy. My heart rate would be like bursting out of my chest, even though what I would be doing there is actually no different than what I would be doing at my old local course, General O's, with just you and me. And that describes the upper limit, or the fence around our potential. That in certain environments, we feel very comfortable and safe. But if you take that same activity and you place it in another environment, you feel like you are beyond your ability to perform in that environment. So how then do you actually make the leap from your local General O's golf course to now playing Torrey Pines with Tiger Woods and some of the world's greatest golfers? Well, what he describes is that it is a mentality thing. I got a quote that I want to read for you. He says, "If I cling to the notion that something's not possible, I'm arguing in favor of limitation. And if I argue for my limitations, I get to keep them." Man, like when I read that in the book, it really blew my mind. If I cling to the notion that something is not possible, it's not possible for me to have a happy marriage. It's not possible for me to have the ideal job. It's not possible for me to make this amount of money. It's not possible for me to overcome my addiction. If I argue and if I cling to that notion, I'm arguing in favor of my limitation. And what he's saying is that we have embraced these limitations as a result of things that have happened over our lifetime. And what we now have to do is we have to let go of these limitations and begin to expand the fence around our lives and around our potential. And one way that we do this is we have to really begin to change our identity. We have to see ourselves and envision ourselves living and operating in this new place. We have to begin to unearth the lies that we have told ourselves from the very beginning, the lies of fear, the lies of that we're not good enough, the arguments that we have told ourselves that have convinced us to play it small. We have to begin to debunk those lies and truly live from a place of unlimited potential. And so I want to know from you, what is your upper limit problem? What is your upper limit? Right? What is the area that you have placed a limit on yourself that you feel like, I just can't go beyond this place? I would love to know, what is your upper limit? I'll never forget, I had just started pastoring. This was about 14, 15 years ago, 2005. I was in Mississippi, and there was a conference that was taking place. And this conference was put on by my denomination, and the president was there. The president of the denomination was there, of my local denomination was there. You know, my church members were there. There were probably about, I don't know, maybe 1,000 people there. And I was asked to present at this conference. And this was probably one of the first conferences I had ever presented at. And it was probably the largest conference I had ever presented at. And this is probably the first time that so many denominational leaders had ever heard me present. I'll never forget it. And I didn't understand what happened until I read this book. I went to the stage, and the moment I stood on the stage and I started talking, and I only had 20 minutes to do this presentation. The moment I started talking, I lost my voice. Immediately, my voice bottomed out, and I started sounding like a crocodile, like croaking, and just could not talk. And this had never happened to me before. People started like, oh, what's going on? Oh, he lost his voice. Let's get him some water. Someone brought me some water. I took a sip. It got worse. Like nothing made it better. And it wasn't because I had been speaking for like 2 hours and my voice was tired. No, I just started talking. But my nerves, and essentially me losing my voice, was an indicator that I had an upper limit problem, and that for some reason in my psyche, I did not feel like I belonged on that stage. And so because I did not belong on that stage, I subconsciously allowed my voice to sabotage my success on that stage. I'll never forget. I was walking down from that stage and I just had like this shame on my face. I saw my president and he was like, oh, man, your voice, you gotta take care of that, and people just thought, man, maybe he's had a long night. Maybe he's been preaching hard. He just lost his voice. No big problem. As soon as I got off the stage and started having a conversation with one of my friends, my voice came back immediately. And I never understood it. I was like, man, why did I lose my voice? I just kind of chopped it up to nerves, but I never knew exactly why that happened. And that was not the only time. It happened a few times after that, right? Now, eventually I got to the point where I became very comfortable speaking in public, and so I was able to control it. But what this book has revealed to me is that in that moment, on that stage, I was experiencing an upper limit problem. So much so that my own body, my own biology, my own physical self was sabotaging my success in that moment. I don't know if that's ever happened to you, but I can promise you and I can guarantee you that if you think through your life, that you too have experienced this manifestation of the upper limit problem at some point in your life. All of us have had these upper limits before. And the people who experience extreme amounts of success and personal professional fulfillment are individuals who are able to identify their upper limits and then begin to push the envelope beyond, move the fence beyond their current comfort zone to expand it further and further and further to the point where you now feel comfortable playing golf at Torrey Pines with Tiger Woods. That's where we all need to be, where we recognize the sky literally is the limit. So one of the things that he talks about is us getting in our zone of genius. And your zone of genius, right, is this place where you feel like it is your sweet spot. If you watched my video from a few weeks ago, this is your zone 9. It is where you are experiencing high value and high vitality. What I want you to do is I want you to take time to think about what is your zone of genius? What is your sweet spot? What is that zone 9 for you? And when you identify that zone 9, what I then want you to do is begin to thinking about the areas and the times in your life where you have allowed your upper limit to sabotage you from stepping into your zone of genius. In the comments, I would love for you to let me know what your upper limit has been or currently is. And let's just begin to have a dialogue about how we can begin to overcome this upper limit. Also, please take a minute and check out this book, right? Audio book. Buy the hard copy. This book is literally a game changer if you are trying to make the leap from where you are to where you feel God is calling you to go. All right, listen, thanks for watching. Please like and share and smash the like button in this video so that more people can hear about it and more people can begin to understand and overcome their upper limits. Peace.